So PR approvals are slowing down, but temporary work permits on the rise. Let's break it down. Okay, so imagine this. You have been studying in Canada, maybe working part-time, grinding it out, waiting for that one golden moment, your permanent residency application to be finally approved. But then, boom, you hear the news. PR numbers are dropping fast. Meanwhile, your friend who came here just 6 months ago somehow landed a full-time job on a work permit, and now they are thriving. What's going on? Well, today I'm going to break it all down for you. And there are a few things that we'll look at today. Why PRs are harder to get in 2025, what's happening with temporary work permits, and also we'll try and look at what this means for you if you are trying to build a life in Canada and how to stay one step ahead. Let's go. Okay, welcome back to my channel where we make sense of life in Canada as a newcomer, from student life to PR to real adulting. If you are new here, I'm Evans, and today we are diving into some big immigration shifts happening in Canada right now. And here's what we will try our possible best to cover today: why Canada is cutting back on permanent residency. Secondly, what's fueling the rise in temporary work permits. Then thirdly, the regional breakdown where you are most likely to succeed. And last but not the least, some tips and strategies to help future-proof your immigration path. By the end of this video, you will not only understand what is happening, but you also know how to respond to it. So first things first, let's start with the elephant in the room. Permanent residency is getting harder in 2025. According to a study by the Metropolis Institute, PR approvals dropped by 15% in Q1 of 2025. Why? Because the government has set new sustainable migration caps. A fancy way of saying we are going to slow down things a bit. What does this mean for you? It means fewer spots are available, and it's already affecting provinces like Prince Edward Islands, which saw a 39% drop in new PRs. Meanwhile, Newfoundland and Labrador surprisingly saw a 12% increase. So yes, location matters when it comes to permanent residency in 2025. If you are aiming for PR, it might be time to look outside Ontario and BC, because that places are already choked, and we all know people who are moving from Ontario and BC to other provinces to try and fight their way to permanent residency. My advice is explore provinces like Newfoundland, Labrador, Nova Scotia, or Saskatchewan through the Provincial nominee programs, that's the PMP, because there's less competition in those areas and your chances might be higher, especially now that there's been cut back on the study permits, which means less people are coming in from outside the country to come and study in these provinces. So maybe you moving there might be your golden ticket to that permanent residency that you are looking for. And as you decide to move there, also make sure you do your due diligence, because in most cases, if you move to any of these provinces to explore permanent residency, they will punish you for studying in another province or working in another province before coming in. And that can also sometimes hinder your PR journey. So make sure you are doing your research before you make that decision to move. Personally, I'm in Manitoba, and in Manitoba, if you move here from another province, most cases they will punish you by deducting 100 points for studying in another province and 100 points possibly for working in another province, which means if you've worked and studied in another province, already you are behind by 200 points before you even get here. So make sure you are doing your research. Temporary work permits, however, are on the rise. While PRs are slowing down, temporary foreign work permits are creeping up. Numbers went from 42,730 to 44,675 in just a year. Think about it like this. Canada's economy still needs workers, but instead of granting permanent status, they are giving temporary permits that are easier and faster to process. Temporary workers are filling crucial gaps in industries like agriculture, hospitality, and healthcare because they need these people to come in to make sure the economy continues to grind. Because it might take you between 7 months to maybe 21 months to process maybe a single permanent residency application. However, for temporary residence application, that might be way shorter, sometimes between a month to maybe 3 months to get that one done. So they need to process all these applications to have people coming in to come and get the work done so the economy does not come to a standstill. My advice is if you are graduating soon, possibly consider employer-sponsored jobs offer under the LMIA based streams. These can be a great plan B whilst waiting for PR policies to ease up, because with these ones you might be able to possibly apply for a closed work permit in case your work permit expires or is not long enough whilst you are waiting for that PR to at least get to your turn. And also you've seen study permits decline. This one hurts, especially if you are still in school or thinking of applying. Study permits dropped by 20% in 2025. That's tens of thousands fewer students, especially from countries like India, Ghana, Brazil, and Hong Kong, who possibly could have come here to study, who are not going to get that opportunity to come and study because of this decline in study permit applications. And from the look of things, Ontario and BC took the biggest hit when it comes to the decline in the study permit approvals, which means fewer international students, which also means that more competition for part-time jobs, housing, and even PGWP spots. So if you're already here, my advice is protect your status. Stay enrolled in your institution, avoid taking unauthorized breaks, and plan for your PGWP early. Most people will wait till the last minute to start making plans post-graduation. Don't be a victim to that. Make sure that as much as possible, you are making your plans as early as possible. If you are on a 1-year program, which means you are going to get a 1-year PGWP, as much as possible, 6 months into your program, you should be making plans for your PGWP, where you are going to work, what you plan to do, and your plan or strategy to get to PR. If you are on a 2-year program and might be getting a 3-year PGWP, also make sure you know your strategy and how you are going to use your time during that 3-year PGWP so that you can get to the PR as early as possible with all these changes that are happening. And for future students watching from abroad, consider applying to schools in smaller provinces. From the look of things, the bigger provinces are choked down. There are so many people there who are fighting for fewer slots. So if PR is your ultimate goal, explore the smaller provinces where there might be more opportunities for you than going to those bigger provinces which is already choked. If the smaller provinces, they may offer you more leniency and stronger PMP pathways because they need people to come into these provinces. So don't go for comfort. Try as much as possible to know what your goal is and stick to that. And as much as possible, find the shortest pathway to that goal of getting that ultimate ticket. So with all this, let's talk about some provincial trends and possibly where to look. Let's talk about location because where you live in Canada really matters now, especially when it comes to getting that ultimate ticket or golden ticket. Right now, Ontario still leads with about 45% of all PRs coming from there. Then there's Quebec, which has below about 10%, which is first time ever. Then there's Newfoundland Labrador. They are low-key winning with about 36% increase in economic immigrants. So as much as possible, try to look at where the new opportunities are and plan ahead. Don't say, oh, this place is winning, so I'm going there because that's where everybody is going. Study the trends and stay ahead of the trend. Possibly know where within the next 1 year, the next opportunity is going to pop up, and get yourself ready for that. I remember when we came into Manitoba, there were people who moved here saying that they know that a year from now, all these changes are going to impact PR. So they came in to cushion themselves and get themselves ready for those opportunities. And some of them are now enjoying it. There was a time where they were advised for people to study French. Those who took advantage of it stayed a year ahead, and they were able to benefit from it. So as much as possible, study the trends and try to stay ahead of it. Don't just follow the trend. I always say, think of it like an investor. Go where the opportunity is growing. I didn't say where the opportunity is. Go where the opportunity is growing. If you are in Ontario and hitting roadblocks, maybe it is time to move to a province with better PR odds. And when I say go where the opportunity is growing, that's when you stay ahead of the trend and predict where the opportunity is going to be, so that it meets you there. If everybody is going to where the opportunity is now, that means that place is going to get choked soon. So that might not be the place for you to head to right now. Then there's the refugee and asylum trends. Let's not forget about the humanitarian side. Refugee approvals dropped from 15% to 11%. That's a big shift, especially for people fleeing war or prosecution. We saw Ontario having a drop of about 40%, Quebec had a drop of about 58%, and Newfoundland Labrador had a drop of about 72%. Meanwhile, economic immigrants now make up a larger share of the PRs that are getting approved. So if you were thinking of maybe exploring the refugee and asylum trends, it's time to set up and reassess your options. And also, if you are applying under the humanitarian grounds or sponsoring a refugee, expect longer processing times and tighter reviews, because now they are reviewing every single applicant very well to make sure that you are a genuine asylum candidate and need that humanitarian support. It might be worth to speak with an immigration consultant as early as possible, so you understand your options, and also make sure you are going to the right one. Know that this person is somebody who has won in the past and can win for you. So what does this all mean for you? So here's the big picture. Canada still needs workers. PR is temporarily slowing down, so there are less people getting approved. Then temporary work is growing trend because more people are now getting approved for work permits because they need workers. If you're already in Canada, whether studying, working, or job hunting, your smartest move right now is to stay flexible, stay legal, and stay informed as much as possible. As much as possible, build your strong work experience whilst you are waiting. Learn about regional immigration programs so that you can take advantage of them, and create a long-term plan beyond just PR. As much as possible, have a plan of what you want to do, because failing to plan is planning to fail. All right, fam, immigration is shifting fast, but you are not powerless. You have got to know the game, and now you do. If this video helped you out, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next update. Want to go deeper, you can book a one-on-one session with me using the link in the description. Whether it's study permit, work pathways, PR strategies, or even budgeting in Canada, I might have you covered. Let's have a talk. And if you need a more personalized advice or a more legal advice, my advice is always book some one-on-one with an immigration consultant or an immigration lawyer so they can guide you. But if you are just interested in talking to me and discussing any issues that you might have, always check the link in the description area and book some time so we can chit chat. Until the next time, stay focused, stay positive, and stay leveling up. Cheers.